Okay, so today we're going to talk about changing people because whether you think you do or not, I think we all have subtle ways of wanting to change people, or at least thinking they should change, or wanting them to do things differently, or wanting them to do things our way, or just wanting them to be a different person. So there's all different degrees of this form of control. And really, it's this ego dominance of somehow I learned about things that you clearly don't get and need to know, and it's my job to tell you. And this has so many different forms and formats and little idiosyncratic ways of seeping into relationships. And I've struggled with it myself in trying to figure out, well, how do I accept things from somebody that I don't really like? And is it just a matter of keeping quiet? Do I have to stick up for my boundaries all the time? Is it a matter of just learning how to intuitively guess when I should or shouldn't say something? And it's probably all of the above. Because along with, let me correct myself, all of the above in terms of how I talk to and treat them, but also, in addition to that, I would say that it's about me learning about me and me learning about what I want to say, what I need to say for myself, and learning really the line where I stop and someone else begins. Because I got plenty of people in my life who do not believe what I believe, who do not think the way I think, who in fact could not be more opposite than I am, either physically, structurally, mentally, intellectually, emotionally, on every level. And yet we do share common values and we do share long-term friendship where there is a commitment and love and respect. So when I talk to these people, when I talk to the average person out on the street, out in the gym, and I'll just as an example, I went swimming today and the lifeguard was alternately sleeping or on her phone. And I thought to myself, well, thank God I'm not at the age of worrying about having a heart attack because I don't necessarily think that she'd be awake enough to save me or paying attention enough to save me. And I chuckle, but it's kind of sad. It really is because I think to myself, like, I would like her to be aware of what's happening in a place where she's probably being paid to work. But okay, I have to decide if I'm going to swim there. I have to decide if I want to say something to her or the manager. And at the end of the day, I have to decide whether or not it's worth it, it's not worth it, it's aggravating to me, and I'm feeding the aggravation by saying something, or it's something I just need to let go of because it's there. And even if I say something, I don't necessarily believe that it's going to make a big fat difference, right? And that's the whole thing. My life is not about using my mouth to try and control things. My life is about using what I've learned to demonstrate a way that I think might be helpful, more clear, more respectful, more holistic, more purposeful, more aware. And then if other people want to learn more about that, we can talk about how I do it. But that's hard because that means that on a daily basis, I'm going to cop these little attitudes about people not doing my things my way. And I'm going to want to jump in and try and redirect and control what they're doing or not doing according to what I think should be done. And I'm not saying that I haven't learned some things or mastered some things and understand some things in great and big and beautiful ways that have made my life better and me happier and that I would love to share those. But, you know, people don't technically or realistically respond very well when you come at them with the idea that they're doing something wrong. And this is tough, you know, because sometimes there's people in my life who they're doing things or acting in ways that I feel like they're harming themselves and it's hard for me to watch. And I do have to find moments where I'm more compassionate and I can say something from a place of love because otherwise it's just going to sound like criticism. And if someone feels criticized in my book or what I've seen in my experience, no matter who they are or where they're at, if I feel criticized in the way that you're talking to me, it's only going to solidify my ego's position to defend what I'm doing rather than allow me to be open to the idea that there's something different or something better or a different way to look at it or a better way to look at it or just your own or my own way to look at it. And I think we can continue to look at these things, continue to look at mastering self. At least I would like to do that in a way that's like, I don't really need to concern myself about what you're doing. And in effect, if I'm concerned about what you're doing, I could get on Facebook and I can talk about it like I am right now. And, we can share stories or interesting experiences of how people aren't doing what we want. And we're learning how to either get okay with it or take action towards changing the things that we have control over, which is usually ourselves. So there you go. So on changing people, you're not necessarily likely to be that successful unless your own ducks are in order. So get those ducks in order, take action for yourself, change what you can, and keep it moving a day at a time. Thanks for showing up today.